episode 88. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you all for joining me. There's lots of people in the chat, which is lovely to see. We'll get to hellos in a moment. Want to make sure that everybody can hear me as always, because we had a couple of technical problems over the last few episodes. But I think everything should be working fine tonight, he says. So let's just keep an eye on the chat and make sure that's a-okay. All right. With that said, we're going to go through some of the hellos we need to do, because we've got some of the regulars all joining in. So hello to Sue and the Donuts. Hope you're all doing well. We've got Mark Botti. Thank you for joining, mate. Hope you're good. I think maybe somebody you know or possibly related to has tried to join the top fan group, so I'll let them in after the show if that is the case. Okay, Jenny and Team Bath are here. Hope you're all well. I'm a bit quiet apparently. Let me boost the volume again. Hopefully that will adjust it. Yes, good. Okay, I will sort that out, Mark. No problem. Yeah, hi to Jenny and Team Bath. Hi to Diva as well. Welcome back. We missed you last week. Hope you're doing good. Luke and Jane are here. Welcome to you. Pinky and the Brain. Hope everyone's having a lovely Tuesday, they say. Oh, Mark, it's your nephew. Brilliant. Okay, well, welcome along and thank you for joining. And yes, I will add him in. No problem at all. Who else is here? Pete says, good evening all. So some of the Brazilians are here too. And Stormy Blackpool, Chris and Eric are here, or Eric will be joining soon by the looks of it. Who else have we got here? Tony and Catherine. Hello to you guys. Sorry you couldn't join us for the Patreon quiz last week too. I will talk a bit about that in a minute though. Who else we got? Andy says good evening everybody as well in the chat. Welcome mate. And that is about it in terms of comments. If anybody else is watching, feel free to join in the comments as well. Do say hello. And if you're watching a repeat of this, as always, you're more than welcome to leave your comments as well. And I'll come back and reply to you as necessary. And I really appreciate your engagement. So we've got 4 subjects down the right-hand side. You can see on your screens there. We're starting off with a winter. You can't seem to turn me up. Okay, all right. Well, don't know how much more I can adjust. That's probably about as loud as I can go. I don't know why it would be quiet because the settings haven't changed since I fixed it last time. Good luck with today's quiz, Jan says. Thank you for joining me. Yeah, the winter subject is the first one of the day. The winter subject is inspired by Patreon requests, so thank you to Andy for that. It's got some really good suggestions this time from Andy and Millie as well. So thank you for all those. I'll be sprinkling those throughout the quiz over the coming weeks in the build up to Christmas. So hope you're going to enjoy all of that, and thank you for those requests. All good here, Jenny says. Maybe weather? Don't know. Yeah, I can't really adjust the volume up too much now. I think that is literally it. So yeah, I'm not sure what else I can say, unfortunately. Hopefully it's coming through nice and loud and clear though to everybody else, and you enjoy this evening's quiz. I do of course have Abby on the way. Abby's here with a question. We had a lot of fun putting this question together. You'll see why when you see what the answers are. For those who don't know, Abby, my daughter, will come in and ask the first question of the evening. It's separate to the 4 quiz rounds that we're going to do that you can see on the right-hand side. That's just to kick the show off and to give 3 lucky teams bonus points. But don't worry, it is all just for fun, remember. We do I always say, we celebrate with those who do well in the quiz and we commiserate with those who don't do well. But it doesn't really matter because we're just here to have fun, to socialise and have a chat and have a laugh and do a bit of quiz along the way. There are picture quizzes as well in every round. I'll explain those when we get there. A new theme has come through for this quiz, so I hope you like it. Right, with that said then, I think it's about time we moved on. I'm going to stop waffling on now and we're going to bring in Abby. Here we go, here she is. Oh, yes. What a lovely t-shirt you're wearing, Abby. I wonder where you could have got that one from. What does it say? It might be backwards for people. I don't know if they can see it properly. It's
Keep
mirrored.
calm and quiz on.
Keep calm and quiz on. Now, I wonder where that could come from. Maybe if people clicked the link in the description of the video, they might be able to find one. Read the question because it's on screen now. Look, here it is.
What is the name of this dog in the Disney Plus show Hawkeye? Is it A, burger dog, B, pizza dog, or C, hot dog? Hot dog, hot diggity dog.
So whether or not you watch the show, have a guess. We have been very much enjoying it, but have a guess. What do you think that dog is called in Hawkeye show? And yes, you hear me banging on about merch in my merch store. Well, this is one of the T-shirts I've got in there. Keep calm and quiz on, and lots of other designs. But yes, if you're interested, link is in the description.
I have green around my hair.
You do, don't you? It's because we've got a green screen behind us. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Right, we've got lots of guesses coming in. Look, we'll use this screen over here this time. Look.
Okay.
So let's see. The top three get bonus points that are correct. Okay, so let's just have a quick scroll through. So Jenny says B. Catherine says great T-shirt.
I don't think that's an answer.
No, but no, but we appreciate the comment. Mark says C. Sue of the Donuts says B. Catherine is then guessing with C. Diva says C. Lots of people going with hot dog. Gabby says B.
Hot
Luke says B. Right. Andy says, I guess C by the look of it. Right. Well, let's reveal the answer then, shall we? Do you want to tell them? The answer is
pizza dog.
B. There you go. Hot. It's pizza dog.
Why
so,
is your laptop making heat?
Because it's a very powerful laptop and it's got a lot of power going through it. That's why it makes heat. Right, so let's see who got it right and who got it right fastest as well. So the first guess came in from this person.
Jenny Bowles.
Jen Bath. Jenny, Team Bath, put B. They got it correct. The next person to put B, this person?
Sue.
Sue and the donuts. Well done. You said B as well. And the only other person and the third person to get the bonus points is
Gabriella.
Gabby, Pinky in the Brain. Very good. You have been practicing. So yeah, most of you went with hot dog, which would be our joke funny name. We kind of had a giggle at that. But that's not real. That's not the real name. He is Pizza Dog because he loves pizza. As is established in the show. That's not really a spoiler. It's just something a bit fun. So yeah, there we go. And thank you for wearing this T-shirt for me.
Merch.
Get your merch.
Get your merch now.
I don't think there's a sale on at the moment. We've had two already at the start of the month, but
I'm a merch ninja.
I will let you know when they're back. Right, off you go then, darling. Say goodbye to everybody.
Bye.
Say goodbye to everybody.
Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye. See ya.
Bye.
Thank you for that. That was a good question, I think.
Get merch.
I think she wants a job. Brilliant. Okay, well done, guys. You got three of you got bonus points there, so you can add that on to your score for any round that you think you've struggled on. And we shall move on then to the first round proper tonight, which is the winter round. Okay, she's giving me a wink. Yeah, good job, Abby. All right, so the theme for your pictures, which are going to appear on every one of the first three rounds this evening, is cars from movie/TV shows. Okay, so make, model, and franchise. In the case of the two pictures here, so the one on the left, and I think they're both, you might get at least 1 or 2 points here, pretty obvious, but the make, model, and the franchise that car is famously from on the left, and the picture on the right, the model is the name I'm after is technically what's on the license plate, the name of that particular car. So I'll explain if you don't know what I mean. I'll explain when I tell you the answers. But the make and the franchise obviously remains the same as well. Don't put that in the comments though. This is just for fun and some extra points to add on to your score as I go through this winter round. The subject of winter, obviously it is winter now, building up to Christmas, but we're not at the Christmas special yet. That'll be in a couple of weeks' time. The last Tuesday before Christmas, we'll do a Christmassy themed proper quiz like this. So Andy, thank you for all the suggestions you put forward, and it inspired this round. So thank you for being a Patreon member as always. Here we go with question number 1 then. Question 1. The word winter comes from an old Germanic word, winter, which means time of what? For 1 point, the word winter comes from an old Germanic word, winter, which is essentially spelt the same as winter, but with an A instead of an E towards the end there. and it means time of what? For 1 point. Just keep a note of all the answers if you're new to this. Keep a note of your answers as we go through them, and I'll go through the answers at the end and we can see how well you do, how many you get right. Question number 2, winter is coming is a phrase synonymous with which TV show? Winter is coming is a phrase synonymous with which TV show? When I said the subject was winter, I bet fans of that TV show immediately thought, I wonder if he'll do a question about that. And yes, I did. Obvious, perhaps, for you, but a tricky one for those who haven't seen the show, I guess. Winter is coming is a phrase synonymous with which TV show? I will do repeats of questions again at the end of the round. So if I go through too quickly, or if you just need me to say a question again in the comments at the end of the quiz round, let me know and I'll repeat them. All right, question number 3 is true or false. True or false, the Arctic fox turns white during winter. The Arctic fox turns white during winter. Oh, Mark says you got booted. Oh dear. That's unfortunate. As with last week, I think it was, or week before even, I can repeat questions at the end for you if you missed any. So don't you worry about that. So yeah, question number 3 again, true or false? The Arctic fox turns white during winter. Question 4 now. What is the most common problem for people after exposure to severe cold? What is the most common problem for people after exposure to extreme or severe cold? Just sound. Oh, you just lost the sound for a bit, maybe. Okay. Well, again, I'll repeat questions at the end if you do miss anything. Question number 5 now. Question number 5. Connected to winter, as every question in this round is, chionophobia, which I will spell for you, chionophobia is the intense fear of what? Chiono phobia. Chionophobia, I think it's chionophobia, is the intense fear of what? The other thing I will do is I will paste it into the chat so you can see it. I get a reminder of how it's spelt, so it should be on screen now. What is that the intense fear of? Connected to the theme of the round, of course. In doing my research for it, some other sites misspelt it to chinophobia, which it turns out, according to the Urban Dictionary, is a fear of something very, very different. I won't say what it is because it's not the nicest of terms, but yeah. In my research, I noticed a lot of people making that spelling mistake. Chinophobia, no. Chionophobia? Chionophobia, yeah. Question number 6. In It's a Wonderful Life, largely set at winter time, what does George say he'll throw a lasso around and pull down for Mary? In It's a Wonderful Life, what does George say he'll throw a lasso around and pull down for Mary? One of my favouriteest films to watch at Christmas time. Absolutely brilliant movie. Didn't do too well when it was originally released, strangely, but certainly made up for it afterwards. Love it. That's question number 6 for you then. What did George say he'll throw a lasso around and pull down for Mary? Question number 7. A winter banana is a variety of which fruit? A winter banana is a variety of which fruit? That one is question 7. Just in the spirit of waffling on in between questions to give you a bit of thinking time, one of the other suggestions I have received, which I think was from it was from Millie, was to incorporate catchphrase style questions into the quiz somehow, which I love. I love catchphrase. It's one of my favourites of the kind of quiz shows out there. It's certainly the one I enjoy playing along with at home most whenever it's on. Times we've watched it. So I'm going to have a think about how to incorporate it. If anybody else has got any bright ideas, because it's kind of like dingbats. When I posted dingbats before, it's like a cryptic clue for a phrase, right? So, but I would love to be able to incorporate it somehow here and not infringe on too many copyright problems. Not that I think they'd care for my small little quiz show, but I've got to be careful with these things. But I definitely would like to incorporate it somehow, especially with the way I'm presenting to you now. It could be done. Yeah, we'll see. So stay tuned for that. If you've got any ideas how I could do it, then please let me know. I'm happy to talk about these things. Question number 8 now. 50-50 shout for this one, really. Who had the higher UK chart entry with Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow? Was it Dean Martin or Frank Sinatra? Who had the higher UK chart entry with Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow? Dean Martin or Frank Sinatra? Might surprise you how the years in which those hits came in as well, actually. Certainly did for me. Question number 9. Burning the Clocks is an annual winter solstice event or festival taking place in which Bristol, not Bristol, ignore if I said that, British city. The answer is not Bristol, by the way. I've narrowed it down for you by 1. It's because of the way I've written it in the question. All right, Burning the Clocks is an annual winter solstice event or festival that takes place in which British city, for 1 point. That is question number 9 for you. Oh, I see, Mark. You had only the sound, but you didn't have any moving pictures. Oh dear. I mean, in fairness, minus the picture rounds, this could easily be a podcast and it could just be entirely in audio form to some extent. It's just questions and answers, and only the pictures are really on screen, aren't they? So, as long as you can hear me, that's really the most important thing. Okay, question number 10. What are the official months of winter in the Northern Hemisphere? What are the official months of winter? This is for 1 point because it just is. If you get 1, you should be able to get more than 1 point because we should all know in which order the months of the year happen. So, yeah, this is just for 1 point. But what are the official months of winter? 3 months, okay? But it's just for 1 point. That's question 10. What are the official months of winter? Okay, question 11 now. Question 11. What is the shortest day of the year often referred to as? What is the shortest day of the year often referred as? If you were paying attention, you may have got a clue on this one already. What is the shortest day of the year often referred as? Question 12. Question number 12 for you now. Which country hosted the world's first Winter Olympic Games? Which country hosted the world's first Winter Olympic Games? That is question number 12. Just 3 more questions in this one. Remember with the pictures, if it's make, model, and franchise, that means it's 3 points for each picture. So that's a bonus 6 points in total you could be getting with those ones. The other 2 rounds, we will do similar things for those as well. So good luck with those. But 6 points, we normally do 1 or 2 points per picture. This one is 3 points each. Question 13. Which former president of the USA makes a cameo appearance in Home Alone 2 Lost in New York? Which former president of the USA makes a cameo appearance in Home Alone 2 Lost in New York? Those of you who were Patreon members last Christmas, and you were at that Christmas special I did a question on it there, and I actually played you the clip. I went back and had a look at what we did then to remind myself of some good trivia for this month to use. And yeah, I was reminded myself of the fact that that was there. I thought, oh, I'm going to use that again tonight. Which former president of the USA makes a cameo appearance in Home Alone 2 Lost in New York? Question 14 now. Question 14. In which Russian city could you visit the Winter Palace? In which Russian city could you visit the Winter Palace? Okay, one more question to go. And this one is for 4 points. For question 15, name the 4 Pevensie children in The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, or the Chronicles of Narnia series. Name the 4 Pevensie children in The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. 1 point for each. Name the 4 Pevensie children. Obviously, this story, that particular story, largely set around winter time, thanks to what the witch did to Narnia. Hence why it's included in this round, in case anybody's wondering. That's why. You can let me know in the comments now if there's any questions you'd like me to repeat. You might want a bit of thinking time, or any of the questions. So by all means, let me know if you want me to repeat any of them, and then we'll go through the answers and see how well you did. One thing I will do then, whilst we wait to see if you need any repeats, is let me share this one with you first of all. So the GoFundMe link, just question 1 for Mark. Okay, that's fine. I can do that in just a moment. So the link I'm just sharing in the comments now, and just to let anybody know who's watching this, there's a chosen charity that I support called Secret Santa 365. They do the gift of giving all year round, helping out children and young families, people who are struggling through these difficult times in particular. So if you'd like to do something charitable this Christmas, please do consider checking out what they do and donating where possible. Okay, let's do some repeats. So questions 1 and 2. You were switching from mobile to web version of the quiz, Jan, so you need questions 1 and 2. Okay, that's fine. So question number 1 for yourself and for Mark in particular. The word winter comes from an old Germanic word winter, so W-I-N-T-A-R, which means time of what? The word winter means time of what? And question number 2, winter is coming, is a phrase synonymous with which TV show? Those are those 2 repeated questions then for you. Does anybody else have a question that they need repeated? If not, we will go straight into the answers and we can move on to the connections round. Nothing so far. Okay. Let's go through the answers then and see how well you did. I mean, all the questions except for the last one were 1 point questions anyway, so should have been pretty straightforward if you knew them. Okay, so here we go. 1 point for each correct answer then. Question number 1 was the word winter comes from the old Germanic word winter, which means time of what? It means time of water, which kind of makes sense when you think about it. Question 2, winter is coming is a phrase synonymous with which TV show? It is, of course, Game of Thrones. Question 3, true or false? The Arctic fox turns white during winter. That is true. They are grey most of the year, and when winter comes, they turn white. If only they had them in Game of Thrones, they'd have known when winter was really coming a lot sooner, wouldn't they? No spoilers. Question 4. What is the most common problem for people after exposure to severe cold? It is frostbite. That's the most common problem. Question 5. Connected to winter, chionophobia is the intense fear of what? It is the fear of snow. Imagine being scared of snow. It must be awful. Yep, the fear of snow. All right, your next question. In It's a Wonderful Life, what does George say? He'll throw a lasso around and pull down for Mary. He says he'll throw a lasso around the moon and pull it on down for her. Question 7. A winter banana is a variety of which fruit? It is an apple. It's a large apple typically grown in America, and it has the taste of banana, a ripe banana, according to its description. So there you go. A winter banana is actually an apple. Question 8. Who had the higher UK chart entry with Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow? Was it Dean Martin or Frank Sinatra? Okay, Frank Sinatra got to number 56 in the charts with Let It Snow, but that was in 2017. Dean Martin got to number 37 in the charts in 2007. So there you go. Dean Martin is the correct answer, 37 to 56, but both of them charting after the year 2000, long time after they originally were songs for those people. But that's when it happened. Dean Martin was the correct answer there. Question 9. Burning the Clocks is an annual winter solstice festival taking place in which British city? It is Brighton. Jan says, I went out today to the cold, -8 degrees. I needed to go to the toilet, so it was my issue with cold today. Luckily, no frostbite. I'm glad you didn't get frostbite. Yes, that could have been a very horrible situation for you. Question 10. What are the official months of winter? Remember, this is just for 1 point. It is December, January, February. Although it can certainly feel like it's arrived a lot earlier than that in the UK, at least. Not quite -8 over here yet, though, Jan. All right, question 11. What is the shortest day of the year, often referred as? I mentioned it actually in question 9, if you were listening. Winter solstice or winter's solstice is the answer for that one. Question 12. Which country hosted the world's first Winter Olympic Games? It was in France in 1924. So France for a point. Chamonix, France. Question 13. The president that made a cameo appearance in Home Alone 2 Lost in New York was Donald Trump, because they filmed in his hotel at the time, and he said that he told them that he'd only let them film in his hotel, if he could have a cameo appearance in the movie. So he does. That's it. Question 14. In which Russian city could you visit the Winter Palace? It's in St. Petersburg. I wonder how many of you put Moscow. Question 15. Name the 4 Pevensie children in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. They are Susan, Lucy, Edmund, and Peter. 1 point for each on that one. Now then, the pictures. On the left-hand side, that is a young Sean Connery standing with an Aston Martin DB5, and is, of course, James Bond franchise. So Aston Martin for 1 point, DB5 for a point, and James Bond for a point. On the right there, you've got a Cadillac is the car. Ecto-1 is the name of that particular car, and it is, of course, from Ghostbusters. Looking forward to seeing the new movie coming out soon, if it's not out already. But yeah, that's quite exciting. So that's that one. Gabby says, I spent 4 years at Brighton at uni. I've never heard of this festival. Oh dear. Yeah, there you go. Okay, scores coming in then. Do tally them up. Add in your scores. You could do, as Mark has already, 10 points for the quiz and 5 for the pictures. You can add them up, or you can post them separately like that if you want to. and I'll give you all a shout out as those comments come in for those of you watching live. Jenny says Team Bath 19 points with pictures. Excellent score. Good work. Jan says 8 points, +3 for the pictures, and 0 for Abby's question. Diva's got 8 points, +1 for the pictures. 11 +4 for the Blackpool Bar Stewards. 11 +4 for Luke and Jane as well. Oh yeah, I'm starting to see badges again. Facebook badges. What have we got this time? Let's have a look. Jan. Oh, Jan, you've got the sharer badge. You can get this badge by sharing the current stream publicly. Ah, you are a star, my friend. Thank you so much for that. Luke says Luke's got the anniversary badge still on there for 1-year anniversary of following the quiz. Thank you. Donuts then have got a score of 15 plus the bonus point. Okay, well done. Andy says 9 + 2 for just the 2.5 of us, aka Back in Black. Thank you guys for stopping by as always. Really appreciate it. Gabby says Pinky and the Brain have 14 + 4 for the pictures. It's another good score. Catherine and Tony 13 + 4 from the not so golden oldies. And 14 + 4 says Emma as well. Thank you for joining. Hope you're doing well. Brilliant. Good. Any more scores, let me know, please, in the comments. And just before we move on to the next round, if you didn't see the post I made in the top fan group already, I'm going to do Facebook Live again next week, similar to this one, but not Christmassy themed. But I don't know, something along these lines like I have been doing for the last few weeks. The week after that will be the Christmas special here on Facebook Live, though. So I'm going to put Christmas decks all over the screen and do all sorts of Christmassy themed quiz stuff. We'll have some fun with that. And then after that, I am going to be doing the Patreon quiz, which will be after Christmas, but before New Year's. And we're going to do our very own version of the Big Fat Quiz of the Year, which was a suggestion from Gabby, so thank you for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. I just need to work out the format of it all and how exactly we're going to do it. So I've got some ideas, I've got some plans. You know me, I'm always trying to think of fun ways to bring quizzes to you. So yeah, that's the plan for this month. 11 + 4 for Blackpool Bar Stewards. Andy says, great round. Thank you, Chris. Enjoyed it. Certainly entertaining. Oh, brilliant. Pete says, this is the Brazilians team. I put Saturnalia, which my phone will not let me type, for shortest day of the year. It's when Romans released their skates and is an ancient holiday predating Christmas. Okay. Never heard of it. Ant says it's 8 + 5 for the Brazilians. Chris has been away for a few weeks. What are the numbers after other people's names? Oh, the Facebook badges. So you've got, Chris, a number 1, which means it's been approximately or just over a year since you've been following me on Facebook. So basically, the more you interact with the Big Quiz 19's Facebook page, the more opportunity you have to earn yourself different badges, which is something Facebook has done, just not very well. Until more recently when they've introduced more. So yeah, people have different badges after their names now. So Pete's got number 1-year anniversary as well, for example, after his name. And Andy has a 5-year anniversary page, not an anniversary badge. Not because I've been doing this show online for 5 years. It's only been 2 years, but because before the pandemic, this was a pub quiz Facebook page just for the quiz nights I hosted in pubs. So he's been obviously attending and a follower for a long time. So there you go. And yes, it is cool. Absolutely. Ant says, Peter said Saturnalia for the shortest day. I don't understand. I never heard of it. But fair enough. Right, let's move on. That's enough waffling on. We're going to go on to round 2 now. Okay, so the connections round. Many of you will have done these before, but let's bring in the pictures for this particular round first off so you can start thinking about that. So, make, model, and movie or movie franchise. So on the left, a bit of a clue, that's only been one movie, so I haven't used the word franchise here. On the right, it is technically a franchise, but the name of the character, if you will, the movie franchise, yeah, I'll be lenient with that because it goes by a few different names throughout the franchise itself. But I'm sure you know what I mean if you recognise the car. But still, guess the make, guess the model, and the movie / franchise for those pictures. So another 6 points up for grabs. 6 points for that one. So the connections round. Connections round will be a 10-question connection round this time. The first 9 questions will seemingly be random subjects, general knowledge, but they all have a connection, a link between them. So the words you find in the answers for each question will have at least one of those words that is connected to the overall theme of the round. Question number 10 will ask you, what is the connection between those answers? What is the link? If you get that right, you get 5 points. So there are 14 points to play for overall for this round. 1 point for each correct answer for 1 to 9, and then 5 points if you get the connection correct. So as long as you get a few of the points here, I think 2 or 3 of the points, you may just be able to work out that bonus 5 points anyway. So let's see how you go with this one. So just like before, don't put anything in the comments about the answers, please. We will go through them at the end. Just check the comments again. Okay, let's make a start. Question number 1 in round 2, our connections round, is which British government department includes the DVLA and the Highways Agency? Which British government department includes the DVLA and the Highways Agency? Some of these, I'm warning you, some of these are quite tricky. I suppose they're only easy if you know the answer, but yeah, sometimes, as I mentioned before, connections rounds can be notoriously tricky. Question number 2. Question 2. Which novel by Alice Sebold did Peter Jackson make into a film in 2009? Which novel by Alice Sebold did Peter Jackson make into a film in 2009? Okay, that's your first 2 questions then. Repeats can be made at the end, as always, as well. Question number 3 now. Question 3. Which Pakistani politician also played international cricket for his country for over 2 decades? Which Pakistani politician also played international cricket for his country for over 2 decades? Okay, question number 4 now. Question 4. Which famous Russian author wrote Uncle Vanya and the Cherry Orchard? Which famous Russian author wrote Uncle Vanya and the Cherry Orchard? 2 separate things there, it's not the same thing. But one famous Russian author wrote them both. I would say if you got that one right, that would probably give you the biggest clue to what the answer is. That would probably be the one that would give it away for me first, if I was playing. If I'd have got it right, which I wouldn't have. But that would have been the one. If I'd have heard the answer for it, I'd be like, oh, it must be this. Question 5. Which actor played the 7th Doctor in BBC TV's Doctor Who? Which actor played the 7th Doctor in BBC TV's Doctor Who? I was very tempted to give you clues about that because I do enjoy Doctor Who quite a lot. Old and new. But no, I won't give you clues. Not today. Question number 6 now. Question 6. Which man gave his name to the original Kentucky bourbon whiskey and founded his family brewery in 1795? Mark says he loves classic Who. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about it too much because I don't want to give away any answers or potential clues, but I will mention it afterwards. You've got a badge as well now. Milestone follower. Have I read this one out for you before yet, Mark? Follow the Big Quiz Night in to earn this badge. Milestone follower. What specific milestone is that referring to, I wonder? Oh well, a badge is a badge. Well done anyway. Yes, let me read that one again. Question 6. Which man gave his name to the original Kentucky bourbon whiskey and founded his family brewery in 1795? Third or third. If you're talking about what I think you're talking about, yeah, third. Yeah, I'll talk about it afterwards. All right, let's carry on then. Question number 7. Which author wrote the sci-fi novel called Ender's Game, which was made into a blockbuster movie in 2013? I haven't actually seen that one. Which author wrote the sci-fi novel called Ender's Game, which was made into a blockbuster movie in 2013? Oh, yours is too. Excellent. Yeah. I think there's something to enjoy with all the Doctors. I don't think there's been a truly bad one. Might be bad written, poorly written episodes, not as entertaining as others. I don't think there's really been a bad actor to play the Doctor though. Not really. All right, question number 8 now. Question number 8. In The Simpsons, what is Milhouse's father's full name? In The Simpsons, what is Milhouse's father's full name? You don't need the full name to get the clue, but you do need the full name to have a point for that question. And the final question before we get to the connection. Question number 9. What was the name of the ferry that capsized shortly after leaving Zeebrugge Harbour in 1987? I probably mispronounced that horribly. I know, I should have done my research. I'll put it in the chat. What was the name of the ferry that capsized shortly after leaving Zeebrugge Harbour in 1987? I hope that's how you say it. But there is the spelling for you. Zeebrugge. The name of the ferry that capsized shortly after leaving that harbour in 1987. Again, I'm not going to give any clues away. I very nearly said a clue, which would just make it so obvious what the connection was. But question number 10, speaking of connections, question 10 is, what is the connection? So have a look at any answers you managed to get and see if any of those words jump out to you and might be connected to each other and what you think that connection could be. Also have a look at the pictures, make, model and movie, or make, model and franchise in terms of the one on the right. See how many points you can get there bonus point wise. Mark says that's right. Okay, good. You're confident I pronounced it right. That's good enough for me. Thank you. And the next thing for me to say is if you want any repeats of questions, again, let me know in the comments now. I will repeat questions for you. So Pete says he missed question 6. So for the Brazilians team, question 6 was, which man gave his name to the original Kentucky bourbon whiskey and founded his family brewery in 1795? I prefer the other one. That will make sense when you hear what the answer is. Okay, the next thing for me to do then, whilst you're having a little bit of thinking time, is I will share my other link just to make you all aware, and for those who are watching that aren't aware. And yes, Mark, I can repeat question 10. Well, question 10 is what's the connection? Question 10 is just asking what's the connection. There's only 10 questions in the round. So question 10 is asking what's the connection between the previous 9 questions. So the link has been shared, my Beacons link. That has everything on it, every conceivable way of supporting Big Quiz Night In is listed on that link there. So a lot of them you see in the banners around the outside. So down in the corner, we've got Lima, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, where I've started to upload these episodes to. I uploaded another one yesterday, actually. Many of you already watched it, but for anybody else that's watching that didn't know that, it's on YouTube as well. And then TikTok on the far right-hand side there as well. Plenty of quiz content there for you to enjoy. The other thing that's there is the book that my son and I have written and is published and is available on Amazon. So for all the kids in that you may have in your life, Christmas is coming up, hint, hint. It's only a £5. We don't see anywhere near that much, but it's a really great achievement for the two of us to have done and to get published. And it might also be in libraries soon as well. We're looking into that at the moment. So yeah, there you go. All right. So with that said, is there any more questions that need to be repeated? Gabby's just asked for number 7. That's good timing. Question 7 again. Which author wrote the sci-fi novel called Ender's Game, which was made into a blockbuster movie in 2013? It's annoying me that I'm not sat central tonight. To keep shifting across a bit. There we go. So yes, that was number 7, Ender's Game. Who wrote the novel? I am going to go through the answers in a moment, so this is your last chance if you'd like a question repeated before we move on to the next round, which will be a potluck round. As you can see, for those of you watching along down the right-hand side there. And then we could go into our survey says questions and have a bit of fun at the end as well. Okay, here we go with the answers then for the connections round. 1 point for each, remember, and 5 points if you guessed the connection correct. Question number 1. Which British government department includes the DVLA and the Highways Agency? It is the Department for Transport. Question 2. Which novel by Alice Sebold did Peter Jackson make into a film in 2009? It is The Lovely Bones. Question 3. The Pakistani politician who played international cricket for over 2 decades is Imran Khan. Question 4. Which famous Russian author wrote Uncle Vanya and The Cherry Orchard? That was Anton Chekhov. You probably got it now, I hope. Question 5. Which actor played the 7th Doctor in BBC TV's Doctor Who? That was Sylvester McCoy. It was good. I love Sylvester McCoy as an actor. I think he's fantastic. And he was good as the Doctor. But John Pertwee will always be my favourite. Always. And of course, for the new ones, David Tennant. Easily the best. Abby's actually just finished watching new Doctor Who up to David Tennant's regeneration into Matt Smith. So I'm watching most of them with her. And yeah, we were very emotional getting to that point. Bless. No, it was good though. Question number 6. Which man gave his name to the original Kentucky bourbon whiskey and founded his family brewery in 1795? That is Jim Beam. Jack Daniels, in case you put that, Jack Daniels is Tennessee. Jim Beam is Kentucky. That's why I said I prefer the other one, because I prefer Jack Daniels. Question 7. Which author wrote the sci-fi novel called Ender's Game, which was made into a blockbuster movie in 2013? It was Orson Scott Card. Question 8. In The Simpsons, what is Milhouse's father's full name? Kirk Van Houten. And question 9 was, what was the name of the ferry that capsized shortly after leaving Zeebrugge Airport in 1987? It was called the Herald of Free Enterprise. You see where I'm going with this now? The connection is Star Trek. 5 points if you got Star Trek as the connection. Just to be clear, the Department for Transport is connected because there is a transporter in Star Trek. The Lovely Bones, because Bones is McCoy's nickname, the Doctor. Imran Khan, The Wrath of Khan, one of the best Star Trek movies. Anton Chekhov, obviously the crew member. Sylvester McCoy, again, Bones. Jim Beam, because you beam somebody in the transporter. Orson Scott Card, because Scotty, Montgomery Scott. Kirk Van Houten, obviously Captain Kirk, and Enterprise, the ship Enterprise. So that's why the theme is Star Trek. Mark says Southern Comfort. I do like Southern Comfort as well. Yes. Yeah, Southern Comfort, and on a summer's day, Southern Comfort and lemonade. Beautiful drink. Bit of ice, lovely. But yeah, I much prefer whiskey of most sorts. There you go, that's just me. But yeah, Southern Comfort's good. Okay, let's see how well you did then, guys. 14 points in total to play for. 1 point for question 1 through 9, and then 5 bonus points if you've got the connection. Let's see how many of you got that right. And how many points you all got. Remember, if you haven't used it yet, your bonus point for getting Abby's question right for the 3 of you that did, you can use that as well whenever you're ready to. Anne says for the Brazilians, 7 points plus 5. Excellent, well done. Yeah, of course, all the pictures. Before you put that in, the pictures I need to tell you. You've got bonus points for that as well. Hold your horses, everybody. Right. The answer is 4 points for me, but once you mentioned all the answers and I guess the connection, so I guess 9. What about the cars? Here we go. The cars are on the left, you've got a Ford Falcon. 1 point for Ford, 1 point for Falcon. Sorry, this is on the right. Ford Falcon from Mad Max. Or Road Warrior, I guess you could get away with. Ford Falcon from Mad Max. That's the picture on the right. On the left, it's also a Ford, and it's a Ford Mustang from the movie Bullet. So for 6 extra points. Sorry, guys, I know some of you have put the answers, your team scores in already, but then lots of you said, what about the cars? So there you go. The answers for the pictures again. A Ford Falcon from Mad Max on the right, and a Ford Mustang from Bullet on the left. So those are for 6 points, in addition to the 14 points in total that were available for that connections quiz round. So now we've got some more coming in. Wonderful. I will start reading from the moment I had read out those. So 8 for Diva, plus 5 for the bonus, getting the connection, plus 1 for the pictures. Very good. Mark's got 9 plus 3, 12 plus 3 for the not so golden oldies, 7 for Team Bath. Donuts have scored 12. Blackpool Bar Stewards 6 plus 5 plus 4. Wowzers. Pinky and the Brain have got 11 plus 1 for the photos and plus 1 Abby bonus point. Jan says 4 plus 5 plus 3, and Luke's 5 plus 5 plus 2. Well done. Back in Black have got 13 plus 0. Oh, Brazilians 3 for the cars. Good one. You thought it was Cannonball Run, Mark says. Oh, no. No, it is not. I was tempted to put one in from there. I was tempted. Those are fun films. I've not seen them since I was a kid. I remember thinking how fun they were, though. Yes. Okay, so that's good. I'm going to move on to the next screen now, but if anybody else wants to put in any more comments, obviously it all carries over. Let's move on to the potluck round. Okay. Oh, Jan says at first I thought it was a Pontiac Firebird and the movie about the bandit. Oh, really? You're aware that we've got more of these to come, right? Nine plus 4, Emma says for us. Good scores, well done. Same again with the pictures then. Make plus model plus movie or movie franchise. Jan just says, oh. Yeah. Yeah, and I think this is the second time you've done something like this to me. Well, you didn't put the exact answer in at least. So let's just see how people go with it, shall we? There was a reason why I didn't talk too much about Cannonball Run in the last one, and that's because something similar was on the way, but not Cannonball Run. But never mind. Let's just see how many points people get, shall we? And we've got a potluck round as well. So keep your answers to the end as always, and I'll go through repeats as well as you need them. The next round is a potluck, or this round is a potluck round. 1 point for each correct answer. Several multiple point questions in this round. And I cannot wait till we get to question 14. It's a fascinating, it's a fascinating subject to do a question about. I'm interested to see your reactions to question 14. Okay, here we go then. Let's go with this round then. Question number 1. Which flavour of Heinz soups were the 2 best sellers in the UK last year? Which flavours of Heinz soups were the 2 best sellers in the UK last year? Comment there from Jan. Talking about cars, my friend made his midlife crisis dream come true and bought himself a Chevy Camaro with a 7.2 V8 engine. Damn, it sounds so good. Wowzers. I bet it does. Yes, I do like these muscle cars. Most definitely. That's cool. Okay, question number 2. The eruption of which volcano devastated the city of Pompeii in AD 79? The eruption of which volcano devastated the city of Pompeii in AD 79? Question number 3 then is for 3 points. In politics, what did the abbreviation BNP mean? In politics, what did the abbreviation BNP mean? We'll withhold opinions on these things, please, from the chat. Another Doctor Who connection there, yes, with the city of Pompeii. Yeah, definitely. Not just because there's an episode of that, but that was the first Peter Capaldi appearance in Doctor Who, as a completely random character. And then, of course, he came back to be the Doctor. I love the story of his fandom, though, because he's literally been a super fan of Doctor Who since it was very first released, since it was first on TV. Even to the point where he wrote to the BBC and insisted on being the secretary of the fan club, which already had an adult secretary of the fan club. There's been embarrassing discussions on Graham Norton about it I've seen recently. And Amy Pond, yes. Yeah, good point. Yeah. Oh, I'm looking forward to watching all this with Abby. Now that I've seen it all, I look forward to showing it to her. All right, question number 4 now. Question 4. How did James Bond like his vodka martini? How did James Bond like his vodka martini? That's question number 4. Question number 5. This is a style of question that has been around in the quiz nights I've done for many, many years, and it's a favourite. So I hope those who have never heard this kind of question, this kind of trivia question before, I hope you appreciate it. Question number 5. Is a New Zealand coon, K-U-N-E, K-U-N-E, is a New Zealand coon a type of dog, a pig, or a cheese? Is a New Zealand coon a type of dog, a pig, or a cheese? Multiple choice there, so choose one. What is a New Zealand coon? Cold, Mark says. Question mark. I am struggling. If you're talking about have I got a cold, not really. I don't know what's going on. I'm just a bit bunged up, which isn't helping my voice, unfortunately. Feeling fine other than that, don't get me wrong. If that's what you're referring to. Vodka. He says vodka. He likes them cold. Yeah. But how did James Bond like his vodka martini? How did he ask for it? Question number 6 is for 3 points. Question 6. What are the names of the voice activated personal assistants that are made by Amazon, Apple, and Microsoft? What are the names of the voice activated personal assistants that are made by Amazon, Apple, and Microsoft? 1 point for each there. I'm not going to say their names too often when I go through the answers for fear of all your phones hearing it and reacting to it. Thankfully, the one that would matter in this house, the Google one, is not likely to go off in here. And also, it's not one of the answers, so we don't have to worry about that. But 1 point for each for the Amazon, Apple, and Microsoft voice activated personal assistants. Question number 7. Question 7. What does the French phrase raison d'etre mean in English? What does the French phrase raison d'etre mean in English? Is number 7 for you? Okay, let's go on to number 8 now. Question number 8 is for another 3 points. I told you there's lots of multiple choice points and multiple points in this one. Question 8. Which cities are the capitals of Australia, Canada, and Switzerland? Which cities are the capitals of Australia, Canada, and Switzerland? 1 point for each. Okay, let's go on to question number 9 now. Question 9. Who were the last 3 British Prime Ministers to attend Oxford University? Who were the last 3 British Prime Ministers to attend Oxford University? 1 point for each. On to question number 10 now. Question 10. What was Marilyn Monroe's real first name? Oh, Jan's noticed some of the questions are very UK based. Yeah. It's funny that. Yeah. Unfortunately, my friend, it's a UK based pub quiz. A lot of these rounds come from, aren't they? So, yeah. Of course, cheeky plug, but those who are Patreons can request subjects of their own choosing, Just saying. Mark says, "Am I a Blake Seven fan?" Do you know, I was introduced to very quick story time. I was introduced to sci-fi by my uncle at the time. Long story short, and that included Doctor Who, Star Wars, Star Trek, Blake Seven, Captain Scarlet, Thunderbirds. All the coolest stuff, and very much shaped who I am today as a result of that introduction. That was just to name but a few of them. Blake Seven was one of them I just didn't really get or catch on to, really. Just never really, no. Don't really remember watching much of it, didn't really get into it. All the others, love. All of the others that I watched. Buck Rogers, love that. All this kind of old sci-fi stuff, absolutely brilliant. But, nah. Last one is American. Yeah, that's it. They tend to be UK or American based, don't they, with trivia? I know. Yeah. Question 11. Let's move on. For 3 points. Question 11. Which roads were UK hit singles for Chris Rea, Elton John, and Talking Heads? 1 point for each. Which roads were a UK hit single for Chris Rea, Elton John, and Talking Heads? I'm sure they were hits in other countries. It's music, right? It could have been for sale all over the world. Um, but most famously for us here in the UK. Very similar. Blake Seven, Watch Again. Yeah, I know it's definitely had its following at the time. I should maybe go back and give it another try one day. Um, it seems like it's the kind of thing that's primed to be brought back in some way, though, as well. You know, because Battlestar Galactica was another one. They brought that back, and it was one of the best TV shows I've ever seen. Amazing as a reboot of something. And I'm normally not a fan of reboots at all. Um, but Battlestar Galactica was, well, I enjoyed the old one, and I really love the new one. Question 12 now. Question 12, we're on to biology. Which human organs are studied by a nephrologist, a hepatologist, and a proctologist? Which human organs are studied by a nephrologist, hepatologist, and a proctologist? In case you didn't quite hear me or want to see the spellings of them, I'm going to put those in the chat. Jan says, by the way, need to complain. They delayed the launch of Disney Plus in Poland again. No. Oh, mate, it's so good. It's so good. Oh, I hope you get it soon. That's so sad. Um, yeah. Oh, mate, I feel for you. We were gutted when I don't know how soon after it was released in the UK. There's a lot of stuff that we didn't get straight away that the US did, and then it seems to be pretty much in sync now, and it should be for the rest of the world. Once you get it, it should be in line with everyone else. It is the best streaming platform, but by a long way. Right, your next question is question number 13. This is for another 3 points. I'm so glad I'm not marking your answer sheets because I'd be here all night. Question 13. Which 3 American states begin with the letters L, R, and U? So 1 point for each. The one that begins with an L, the one that begins with an R, and the one that begins with a U. 3 American states, 1 point for each. Get IPTV. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Apparently, it's a pirate's life, and yeah, I just haven't got it yet. I'm not into it. There are some things I do get in that way, but not specifically through IPTV. Mark says I couldn't live without Plex. I don't know that one. I've heard IPTV. I've not heard one referred to as Plex. Question 14. Right, question number 14 is a true or false question. And it kind of ties back in, actually, to one of the previous questions. Question 14. True or false? Dr. Allbutt invented the rectal thermometer. True or false? Dr. Allbutt invented the rectal thermometer. Oh, all Doctor Who series are on it. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, because I've seen a lot of them are on BritBox, which I refuse to pay for. And obviously the iPlayer's got all the new ones, so you can just watch that. That's fine. But to watch all the old ones again, yeah, we might have to check that one out. I'd love to go back at least to watch some of John Pertwee's ones. He also sang "It's My Life." No, I think that was Dr. Allban, not Allbutt. I know it's close. It's very funny though. It's my life. Dr. Allbutt. Did he really invent the rectal thermometer? Question 15, right, your final question. Oh, you watched Sea Devils yesterday. Classic. Oh, I could geek out all night about this as well. Question 15. As of September 2021, according to a YouGov survey, What were the 3 most popular dining brands in the UK? As of September 2021, according to a YouGov survey, what were the 3 most popular dining brands in the UK? 1 point for each. You don't have to put them in the correct order. You don't, all right? Because I won't know if you put them in the wrong order anyway. I'll tell you the correct order they should be in, but you get 1 point for each just for guessing them. Let me know if you want any questions repeated. That's the end of the potluck round. Let's see how well you did in that one. I'll go through the answers in just a moment. Yes, Sea Devils. Sea Devils of Doctor Who. That's one that hasn't made a comeback. Lots of old classic Who monsters have come back. Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, I just had a quick Google search of it. Yeah, excellent. Yeah, we recently watched, or they did that episode recently in the newest series where they referenced. I haven't watched the very latest episode if it's been aired yet, I can't remember. But they went back to the time of the Brigadier. I got well emotional thinking about it. Just like, oh, although he wasn't Brigadier at the time. But yeah, really good throwback. Right. Well, you say restaurants. No, I mean it's places to go to get food. Could include restaurants. Does include restaurants, but yeah, most popular dining brands. So places to go and get food, either to eat in or take away. Okay, that's what I mean by that question. Dining. Sorry, as I said, my nose is blocked and it's affecting how I say words. Let me put it in the chat. 3 most popular dining brands in the UK. This is actually how it was worded on YouGov, by the way, so don't think it's me wording it strangely. Diving. Diving brands. 3 most popular dining, as in dinner, dining brands in the UK. So yes, places to go get food, either dine inside the establishment or to take away from with you. Yeah, what were the 3 most popular in the UK as of a survey in September 2021? It's Newmarket favourite. Name us favourite. Question 10. All right, I'll repeat question 10. Thank you. What was Marilyn Monroe's real first name? Question number 10 was, what was Marilyn Monroe's real first name? That's your first repeat. Does anybody else need a question repeated before we go through the answers then? And we'll see how well you all did in that final round before we go into our survey says. Question 11 for Mark. Okay, question 11. Which roads were UK hit singles for Chris Rea, Elton John, and Talking Heads? They all sang songs about particular roads, so 1 point for each. Jan's asked for number 8. Right, number 8 and number 7 as well. Okay, so number 7 will go in order. So number 7 for Sue and the Donuts was, what does the French phrase raison d'etre mean in English? Number 8 for Jan was, which cities are the capitals of Australia, Canada, and Switzerland? Number 6 for Mark was, what are the names of the voice-activated personal assistants that are made by Amazon, Apple, and Microsoft? That's that one. There any more for any more? You know, whilst I wait for that, speaking of different brands of things, if you were to do what I did today and mention on TikTok that you are doing something on another social media platform, they suppress your content. Every time I've mentioned that I do a Facebook live show on TikTok, the views are suppressed and hardly anybody gets to see that video. and I have very small account on there compared to a lot of the other content creators that do similar kind of stuff all over social media, like I'm trying to achieve, and they have the same problem and moan about it a lot. And you can tell, you look through their videos, and you can see where the numbers are just in their hundreds, and most of their content is in hundreds of thousands of views. So it can only be the only common denominator between it all is mentioning Facebook or YouTube or anything else. It's awful. Right, I'm not seeing any more repeat requests come in, so yeah, I've been cancelled. Yeah, that's it. Cut. See you later. Yeah, cheers. Just trying to, entertain people. God forbid I do it on a different platform. There you go. Right, let's go through the answers then, see how many you got, and I will go through the answers for the pictures at the end, okay? So don't you worry, and don't post your scores until I've done that. Question one, the two flavours of Heinz soup that were the top sellers in the UK last year, in fact, they're pretty much the top all the time, cream and tomato and chicken. Tomato, chicken, 1 point for each. Question two, the eruption of the volcano, or which volcano, devastated Pompeii in AD 79. It was Mount Vesuvius. Do you know there are people that deny that ever happening? Like, how much more evidence do you need? Yeah, crazy. Question three, what did the abbreviation BNP mean in political terms? That is British Nationalist Party, for 3 points. Question four, James Bond liked his vodka martini shaken, not stirred. Chicken and stew, is it the same? If you put chicken, you can give yourself a point. If you put tomato, you can give yourself a point. You don't have to specifically say what kind of chicken or what kind of tomato soup it was. Just the main ingredient. So they were frozen. Yeah, that's what it was. That's right, Mark. Yeah, they were frozen. Yeah. So, these conspiracy theories out there are amazing. All right, your next question. James Bond liked his vodka martini shaken, not stirred. So, shaken, not stirred for 1 point. Question five is a New Zealand coon. Coon, a type of pig, a dog, or a cheese. It is a pig. Question six, the three voice assistants for Amazon, Apple, and Microsoft. I'm sorry if this sets off anything in your houses. Alexa, Siri, and Cortana. That is probably ordered in usefulness as well. Question seven. What does the French phrase raison d'etre mean in English? It means reason to live or reason to exist. That's just for 1 point. Question eight. Which cities are the capitals of Australia, Canada, and Switzerland? They are Canberra, Ottawa, and Bern. B-E-R-N. Forgot Bixby. Oh, it's even worse. I turn that off. I use Android. Love Android phones. Turn that off straight away. Sorry, Catherine. Still never use it. Yeah. Yeah, sorry. I had a feeling it might set off somebody's, but I won't say them anymore. Yeah, I knew it would happen. Yeah, just use the Google one. It's much better. It's much better than all of them. Not that I'm biased or anything and work for a company that partners with Google or anything, but it's true. Question number 9. Who were the last 3 British Prime Ministers to attend Oxford University? Don't get political. Don't get political. Don't get political. Okay. Boris Johnson for 1 point. Theresa May for another point. And David Cameron for another point. Right, moving on. Question 10. What was Marilyn Monroe's real first name? Norma. Her real full name was Norma Jean Mortensen. If you've heard Candle in the Wind, the original song from Elton John, Norma Jean is who it was about originally. Question 11. Which roads were a UK hit singles for Chris Rea, Elton John, and Talking Heads? It is Road to Hell for Chris Rea, Yellow Brick Road for Elton John, and Talking Heads sang about the road to nowhere. Wonder whether she was related to Viggo Mortensen. I wonder. You never know. Exactly the same unusual surname somewhere down the line, maybe. Viggo Mortensen, quick side note, plays Aragorn in Lord of the Rings, is the same age now that Ian McKellen was in the first Lord of the Rings film. Yeah, he doesn't look it. He doesn't look it. Yeah, it's certainly possible. Yeah. There you go. There's a fact for you. It makes you feel old. If you care about Lord of the Rings, that's interesting for you. Question 12. Which human organs are studied by a nephrologist, a hepatologist, and a proctologist? It is kidneys, liver, and to put it politely, your intestinal tract. Mark says, yeah, what? 20 years? OMG. Yeah, I know. It's true. You can look it up. Look up his age. All right. The three American states that begins with LR and U are Louisiana, Rhode Island, and Utah for 3 points. Question 14, true or false? Dr. Allbutt invented the rectal thermometer. Is true. In 1866, he basically introduced the modern clinical thermometer. I'll just check my notes on this one so I get it right. It was a welcome alternative to the foot-long instrument. Foot-long instrument that required 20 minutes to register a patient's temperature. So he introduced the modern version of it, which could then, of course, be used as that kind of thermometer. So Dr. Allbutt invented the rectal thermometer. There you go. Mark's still in disbelief. Question 15. As of September 2021, according to a YouGov survey, what were the three most popular dining brands in the UK? All right, I'll give you them in reverse order. 59% of people who voted for it, and they could choose multiple things. Pizza Express was the third most popular. 60% of people also voted for KFC. And the most popular at 70%, Greggs. Greggs, KFC, Pizza Express. What does that tell you about our society? And surprisingly, McDonald's was like way down on the list. I'm quite happy to see that because I really don't like McDonald's. I worked there when I was a kid, and surprise, surprise, I never went back. So there you go. That's just my opinion. But Greg's, KFC, and Pizza Express. Right, the answers for the pictures then. Gosh, I've waffled on a lot tonight. Right, so on the left it is the DMC DeLorean. DM for Mike, C DeLorean. And it's, of course, Back to the Future. That particular picture is from Back to the Future Part 2. But either or, give yourself a point. The franchise is Back to the Future. The movie in particular, Back to the Future Part 2. The other one on the right is, as Jan said earlier on, a Pontiac Firebird. Technically, it's a Pontiac Firebird Trans Am, and it's from Smokey and the Bandit. So there's 6 points on there again for those pictures. So DMC DeLorean, Back to the Future for 3 points. Pontiac Firebird, you can put Trans Am as well if you really wanted to. And Smokey and the Bandit. Let's see how well you did. Tally your scores up. Jan, you can't say spoiler, ... then put what the spoiler is, without saying what it's a spoiler for, because now I don't know whether I should click see more or not in the comments. Because it could be something spoiling what I don't want to be spoiled. I don't know, do I? Could I please repeat the answer to 13, though? Was busy checking whether Marilyn and Vigo were related. Question 13 was Louisiana, Rhode Island, and Utah. Okay, here we go. Your team scores are coming in. Mark says 21 plus 5. Diva's got 24. Eric, Blackpool Bar Stewards have got 25 plus 3. 35 for Team Bath. Wowzers, that's a great score. 25 plus 5 for the Not So Golden Oldies. 26 plus 5 for the Donuts. 24 plus 6 for the Brazilians. 25 plus 2 for Back in Depleted Back. Back in Depleted Black. Well done. Still some more scores to come in, I think, so please do leave them in the comments. Emma says, our best round so far, 22 plus 6. Excellent stuff, well done. Luke and Jane have got 24 plus 3. Sorry in the chat, the spoiler warning looks good. It just looks bad on your red chat screens. I didn't see it on the chat on screen. Gabby says, Pinky and the Brain have got 28 plus 5 for the pictures. Good one. That's a good score as well. 19 plus 6 for Jan. Well done. See, despite it being a lot of UK-based questions, you still do very well. Right, I'm going to go back up and see this spoiler thing now. Spoiler, they were not related. Oh, I get it. Okay, I'm with you now. Yes, very good. Okay, so we're going to move on now. We're going to go on to our survey says. Any more points, please do. Any more comments, keep them coming in. Even if you're watching a repeat of the show and you're still with me, thank you for that. Tony has loved the car questions, Catherine says. I didn't have a clue. Mark says, John, your surname is in what Doctor Who episode? Oh my goodness, there's a question. Yeah, I should point out, John Tree Sparrow, as the name pops up on Facebook, is my Polish friend Jan, who I used to work with. When he was over here in the UK. But yes, it's John Tree Sparrow on Facebook. It's up to you whether you want to say to people why, but I'll keep calling you Jan because that's how I know you, if you don't mind. But yes, Sparrow. What Doctor Who episode is that in? There's a question. All right, let's click over then to the Our Survey Says round. Okay, so Our Survey Says you've got 3 quick questions again. Let's see how many of them you can get right. Chuck your guesses in the comments. I'll reveal the question in just a moment. And all the guesses, I will then reveal where they are on the board, if they are. If they're not on the board, you'll see this. For as many of them as I can be bothered to press the button. Tree sparrow, also known as Eurasian sparrow in Polish, is Mazurek, which is my last name. That's it. I knew there was a reason for it like that. I just couldn't quite remember it. That's it. It translates 1 to 1. I'm sure you've said that many times to me before. It's not something I retain information-wise. All right, here comes the question then. First question then in the Our Survey Says round, what would you want if you were stuck on a desert island? What would you want? An item, a thing, something in your life that you would want with you if you were stuck on a desert island? 100 people were surveyed. These are all taken from the Family Feud American show over the years, okay? So they're not recent UK ones that I sometimes use. These are all taken from the American Family Feud. Right. Jan says rescue straight away. It's not actually there. It's not there, believe it or not. Let's see what some of these answers are coming in then. So we've got a knife, that could be useful, yeah. Water, boat, fresh water, a well, again for water I would say boat. Right, believe it or not, boat is not there either, I know, right? But we have had some answers there related to water, so I'll tell you now, water, our survey said, is the top answer. Very good, straight away in there with that one. Let's see what else we've got here then. Oh, number 4. No, you'd never get number 4. I laughed a lot when that came up as the answer. You would not get number 4, I'm telling you now. It's crazy. But none of the other answers are going to be there. So boat, raft, not there. Keep your guesses coming in now. Just keep guessing. Let's see if you can get some more for this one. What else would be useful? Good to have if you were stuck on a desert island, other than the things you put in there. Chris says a partner. I'm gonna give you that one. A friend. A friend is there. So we've got lighter or matches. Lighter or matches? No. Not there. A map. No. Radio, shelter, coconut, company. Yeah, company, a friend. We've got there already. Hooks and fishing line. KFC, Ed says. Actually, do you know what? You said KFC, but then Eric from Blackpool Bar Stewards has come in and said food. So I'll give you both the point for that. Food is there. It's the second most popular answer. Internet connection. Internet connection's not there, but what might you need to look at or use the internet to communicate with people? That might be one of the answers. Wi-Fi. Yeah. Shelter isn't there. It's not there. So you've got 3 and 4 missing. 4 you're never going to get. You can keep guessing, you're never going to get it. Wilson is not there, but Sue, that's a brilliant answer. If you haven't seen Castaway as a movie, that's what that's in reference to. And Eric says a phone. Here we go. Look, mobile phone is answer number 3. Ray Mears. That's a good one. Underwear, no, not there. Television. Right. The answer for number 4, I'm gonna have to just reveal what the answer is because it doesn't make sense to me. Well, I could kind of see some logic behind it, but no, it shouldn't be there. A camel. Yeah, I take alcohol over a camel there any day, Chris. So I totally get why you would put that and have a guess, but yeah, it's a camel. I mean, it's a desert island. It's not a desert. Shark repellent. Yeah, that would be useful. I think Batman had one of them in the 60s. Yeah, I know. Camel. Camel was the answer. This is the American version of the show. The 4th most popular answer. What would you want with you if you were stuck on a desert island? And the 4th most popular answer was a camel. I'm guessing so you had some kind of transport that you could also feed and to have carry stuff as you travelled around the island. But the fact out of 100 people that was the 4th most popular answer blows my mind. I appreciate the emojis as well. Brilliant. Yeah, a desert island. I know, mate. I know. Look at this, though. Look what I can do. Desert island. Desert island. Desert. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. I can't believe it's there. Crazy stuff. Right, well done. Let's move on to the next question then. That is scary. Yeah, tell me about it. This is probably one of the last things I would think of. Right. Oh, oh. Didn't reset the board. That's my fault. I hope you weren't paying too much attention there. Right, something a student would do to be a teacher's pet. You probably saw a lot of those already. That's my mistake. I'm sorry. But have a guess at some of the answers for this one then. Having too much fun, that's what it is. I'm not laughing too much. I'm not concentrating on how I should be running the show. It's very unprofessional. But hey, we are having fun. I still just cannot believe that. A camel. But yeah, something a student would do to be a teacher's pet. I think I changed them quick enough. I'm hoping you didn't all see the answers. Suck up to the teacher. Yes, that is one way of putting it. Oh, Sue of the Donuts. That's an interesting guess. Yes, Apple is there. Just throw your guesses in, guys. Don't need to wait. Just keep guessing and I'll tell you what's there. Yeah, Apple for teacher or bringing a gift is there. Let's see what other guesses have come in then. Cleavage, it's not there. Although it depends on this next one and your interpretation of it, because Jan says about sucking up to the teacher somehow. So you could say brown nosing, sucking up to the teacher. Maybe you could sort of argue your answer is right in some respect. If you use that to your advantage, then that's up to you. Bring a gift, Apple. Yes, we covered that one. Sit at the front. Yes. Let's see. Sit at the front. Sit at the front is there. That is number 6. Sharpen pencils. Interesting. Sharpen pencils is not there. But if you were doing that for others, maybe you were doing that to gain some extra something or other that might help, might get you a point. Canoodle in the book cupboard. Wowzers. What kind of school you went to? Answers always put your hand up. Yeah, put your hand up. Let's reveal where that one is. That's number 5. You've got two more to guess, so one of them might take you a long time to eventually be someone who does um, become a teacher's pet, because it wouldn't happen instantly. And neither would number four actually either. So let's see. If you did very well at school, you would be getting what? Think about it. It worked for me, Mark says. Amazing. Being helpful, yeah, it's not there, but I get what you're saying. Help set up and tidy up. No, it depends on your definition of this one. I'm going to give you guys the point for that. Volunteering for extra work, extra homework. Yeah, okay. You've gone around of the subject enough for me to justify showing you. Number four is extra credit. So doing other things to help out in the classroom. Yes, a lot of you have got some of the descriptive terms for that. So yes, you can have the point for that one. And I think Catherine, looks like you've got the missing answer for this one. Getting good grades, good marks, good grades. That is the missing answer for that one. I'm going to reset the board this time. But yeah, well done. Managed to get them all. Now, I think if I remember rightly, last week there was just the one answer that you guys didn't guess of the three. And we've already had that one this week. So hopefully we can equal that best. Let's reset the board. And we move on to the next question. But yes, good grades was the missing one there. So the last one then. Name something you'd call your date if you forgot their name. Name something you'd call your date if you forgot their name. Going back to that last one again, removing gum from tables, I'd say maybe that comes under extra credit, doing extra stuff to help the teacher out. Remember, this is the American version of Family Fortunes. This is taken from Family Feud. So the answers should be along those lines with something Americans would likely say in response to this question. All right, we've got some good guesses coming in. So Jan says honey. Is honey there? It is the top answer. Excellent, good start. Right, that's the top one found. Mark says darling. Is darling there? Let's have a quick look at my list. Darling is number 7 on the list. Well done. However you want to spell it. Yes, thank you, Andy. Darling is again there. Another one we've got love. Is love there? Let's have a look if love is one of the missing answers. No, it is not there. Not there. Let's see what else. Sweetheart. Is sweetheart there? Not specifically sweetheart. No. No. You're very close. I think I'm going to say no for that one. Diva says babe. I'm gonna yeah, all right. I will give you that one. It's baby or babe. You can have the points for that one. Love is not there. No, not darling. Princess. Is princess there? I wonder. Princess? No, not princess. Mate. If it was over here, totally, but it's not. American names, please. Andy said, reasons why I'm single, part 38. Andy says, Sweetie. Is Sweetie there? That sounds about right. There we go. Yeah, Sweetie's there. Love, no, love is not there. That's not one of them. I think we've already covered that. And babe is, I'm classing babe and baby as the same answer. Hag. Mark says hag. It's not there. Duck, again, if we were up north, if this was an English or British, I should say, survey, but no. Oi, you. Andy, it's funny you should say that. You, it's there. Do you want a drink? Oi, you. So yeah, you joked, but it was there. Well done. Sweet cheeks. That's a good guess. It's not there though, I'm afraid. So what are we missing now? I wonder, has one of them been said already that I haven't? My boo, no. Angel, no. Nice guesses though. Sweetie, we've already covered. Mate, no. Honey, princess, darling, no. Still nothing. Right, lovely is not there either. Okay, we're getting to that point where I might have to reveal these answers. Let's have a look. Yeah, we are overrunning big time tonight. So I'm going to reveal these. One of them makes sense. The other one's a bit too formal. But I guess hey, that's how surveys work. You never know what you're going to get here. So let's go with it. Number 6, pronouns. Yeah, it's not there, I'm afraid. But ma'am. Oh, yeah, and you're close. You're close. I tell you what, you can have points for this one. Miss, sir, I guess ma'am would also be covered by that. So well done. You just snuck in there. I'll give you that one. And the one that's missing, I'm pretty sure I haven't seen it said. So number 5 then. Dear. Dear is the answer. Apple of my eye. The high charm is now in full effect. I think by the time you get to call someone the apple of your eye, you should probably be on more than your first date. Because if you did it on the first date, that would be really weird. Yeah, Mark says, oh dear. Quite right. Of course. Dear is the answer. Okay, that is the last one, guys. So that brings us to the end of the quiz. Really good turnout again tonight. We'll be back with more again next week. I hope you've all enjoyed it again. I think we've laughed a lot. I hope you've been laughing along and not just been watching me laugh at myself. Um, but yeah, really appreciate you all watching along. Do continue to share what I do here with your friends and family. Do invite more to it, especially with Christmas coming. People are spending more time inside, so give them something fun to do. Tell them about the quiz. It means a lot to me that you share and invite more people to get involved with the fun we have here. Abby should be back with another question next week as well. And then the week after that will be the Christmas special, which she will also be here for, I hope, as long as she behaves herself and goes to bed when she's supposed to, he says, knowing full well she's there in the background. And yeah, we will then do Patreon, Big Fat Quiz of the Year after Christmas. So lots of fun to look forward to throughout the rest of the month. Do stay safe, take care, everybody, and I'll see you same time next time for more of the same fun. Cheers, good night.